Shalom Akiam and Aqua brothers and sisters out there. This is Quan coming through on this Saturday. I hope you guys are all enjoying your day and having a blessed day. Today I just wanted to do this review, this little music review in regards to Westside Gunn's latest debut album, Who Made the Sunshine. Now we know this isn't his debut album in regards to in general, but this is his major label debut in regards to it being on Shady Records. So Who Made the Sunshine? Now I've done reviews on other Griselda artists, and I've just gone over my understanding of what they're about in regards to their upbringing and their content and what they represent, what they rap about, their fan base, so on and so forth. And Westside Gunn is basically the head honcho of Griselda Records, the founding member of Griselda Records. He is the cousin of Benny the Butcher and the brother of Conway the Machine. They're all hail from Buffalo. It's 5 members in the group of Griselda. We have Armani Caesar. We also have Westside Gunn, Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, and Bodie James. And also the in-house producer, Derringer, which is basically the main producer on most of their projects, as well as Alchemist and a few others. You got Camouflage Monk. You also have Rock Marciano, Conductor Williams, a lot of others. So, Griselda, their sound is basically mixed in with the underground as far as, the boom bap and the artistic sound in regards to the aesthetic, in regards to samples, so on and so forth, with the soul and all of that. So Griselda has a great sound, you know what I mean? Great sound. So I just wanted to go over this review in regards to Who Made the Sunshine. So let's start with the intro track. Intro track is basically, a long-time collaborator of Griselda. He goes by the name of A.A. Rashid. And basically he just goes on a little spiel or a little soliloquy, just going into his esoteric understanding of the sun and God. And we already know it's an allusion to the sun god based off of what he's saying. He basically said that God mimics the sun. And that's just basically him giving his understanding of that esoteric vibe, and which is basically going into the sun god, you know what I mean? Or sun worship per se. So let's just hear a little snippet of this one here. And I'm not gonna lie, I like that line right there. Who take care of the man who takes care of himself? That's obviously something that you gotta ask yourself. Who takes care of the man that takes care of himself? If you're an understander and you're a believer of the Most High, then you obviously gotta give that nod to the Most High. The Most High takes care of the man that takes care of himself. But, as far as his interpolation or his interpretation of it in regards to A.A. Rashid or Westside Gunn, they believe in the left-hand understanding of quote-unquote God. So his God is not our God per se, Akim. So let's continue on. So right here, this is The Butcher and the Blade featuring Conway the Machine and Benny the Butcher. This one is also produced by Derringer. Great track. They all go in. A few lines from Benny the Butcher in which he say, I think he say, I came to bring the pain. I'm here to kill everything like '07 Wayne. And he ended it off with that. And, Benny, he has a good way of just ending off tracks with a bang and saying a lot of clever shit. Conway the Machine, I think he had the best verse on this song overall. Second best will go to Westside to me. Westside really stepped up the bars. He stepped up his wittiness. The content is going to be the same overall, but they have a good way of, mixing it up in regards to the delivery. So this is a great track overall. This is The Butcher and the Blade featuring Benny and Conway. So the next song, Ishka Bibbles featuring Black Thought. Black Thought totally kills it. His wordplay, his flow, his schemes in regards to his cadence. He really kills it, you know what I mean? Westside as well. I really feel like they had a good chemistry on this track in regards to just going back and forth. Not to say that they was going back and forth like a Styles and Kiss or anything, but just them meshing well together on the track. You feel what I'm saying? Because sometimes you may have a dope feature like a Black Thought, and it just may not mesh well because, you just want that feature so bad. But, they executed this well. So I really like Ishka Bibbles, produced by Derringer and Beat Butcher. A really great track. So let's continue on. Now this is all praises, all praises to the Most High, and this is in the chorus. Westside Gunn sings the hook, and he says, "All praises to the Most High." So it's a good thing that you got people out here that's they're giving praises to the Heavenly Father, but at the same time we still have to understand what these people are about. So they could be saying all praises to the Most High, but they may not be talking about the Most High necessarily. You feel what I'm saying? Because these guys, they all mixed up. This guy talk about Allah. So if you're talking about the Most High and you talk about Allah, you're not talking about the same quote unquote God. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to understand. But All Praises is a good song nonetheless, featuring Benny the Butcher. I mean, not Benny the Butcher, Bodie James, also featuring Jadakiss. Bodie James had a great verse. Jadakiss had a great verse as well. I like the things that he said, talking about how COVID-19 is the new stamp on the dope or something like that. Going into how a lot of people all woke now. Everybody want us to vote now. So it's it's a good verse from Kiss. You know what I mean? So the fifth track. So that's Big Bosh's. Just want to give y'all a little snippet. Produced by Derringer and the Beat Butcher. Great track. I love the beat. I love the flow. I love the vibe. I really, listen to this a lot. I started listening to this when it came out, and I just been, bumping it a lot because it's just a vibey track, and the beat it pulls you in, man. Like this shit, it slaps hard. I fucks with it. So we're gonna go to the next track. Liz Loves Luger. Now, Liz Loves Luger, obviously, you heard the tag, produced by Alchemist, featuring Armani Caesar, one of the Griselda members. It's an okay track. Wasn't really feeling it too much. It's just an okay track. It's sexual, explicit. Westside Gunn and Armani on their, sexual vibe or whatever, but it's cool. It's okay to me. So let's go to the next track, Fire. Now, Ocean Prime featuring Slick Rick and Busta Rhymes, fire. One of the standout tracks to me on the album. I just love the sound. It got that airy vibe. It's hazy. It's crazy, man. This shit is fire. And I like how when you hear Slick Rick's part, it changes a little bit as far as the vibe of the beat, the sound, and it goes into that little hazy sound where it's just like you're in a trance kinda. I can't really explain it, but it's real dope, when you hear Slick Rick's verse. And Slick Rick with his voice it's clever, and it's so perfect with the sound and all that. Slick Rick is really dope, man, really dope. Let's continue on though. So this one is Lessie, and the last track was produced by Beat Butcher and Derringer. This one is Lessie. I believe this one is produced by the Beat Butcher. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure, but I believe it's produced by either Beat Butcher or Derringer. I could be wrong though. But this one here, produced by Lessie. The song is called Lessie, featuring Keisha Plum. It's a pretty good song. I like the vibe, the beat. It's real light. A nice tempo to it. Westside Gunn likes to go into his bag where he doesn't necessarily utilize the drums, and I like that because it's real artsy. It gives it a nice touch. You feel what I'm saying? Where you got those drumless kind of beats, or not necessarily drumless, but the drums are real light. It's not thumping, and it gives space to create as far as the artist shining. The voice of the artist really shining and it matching the potency of the record. So I really fuck with Lessie, and a lot of those tracks where you don't hear the drums. Like if you guys listen to a song called "The Purist" from Westside Gunn featuring Rock Marciano. Like that's a good example of a drumless beat, but it still pulls you in. So let's continue. Frank Murphy, really, really, really dope. Really, really dope. Produced by Conductor Williams. It features about what 9 artists. You got Stove God Cooks, Flea Lord. You also have who else you got on here? Estee Knack, El Camino. Of course, you got Westside Gunn, Smoke Dizza, and you also have yeah, it's not 9 artists, but you have a lot of artists on here, and they all kill it. You know what I mean? Also, Flea Lord, they all kill it. They got they all have dope verses and all that. And the beat, like I said, like he's not necessarily going for that drum on this one. Even though he has a lot of drums on his beats, obviously with Derringer and those hard hitting drums, but I like when Westside goes into his soulful bag or his drumless bag or his his unorthodox kind of bag where he has those beats where only he can flow over it. Only a certain few people can flow over certain beats. You feel what I'm saying? And Westside Gunn is really, really artistic when it comes to curating. He's one of the greatest curators right now in hip hop to me, as far as just putting together an album, and as well as it being so cohesive and it being structured in a certain way. So let's go to the next song. This is Good Night. And this is probably the best song on the album, content-wise, as far as Wes and Slick Rick telling a story. Produced by Derringer. The fucking beat is just retarded, nasty, real like gritty and grimy. And it has the piano. The piano is just so just dark, man. This is just crazy. Yeah, man, it's probably the best song on here. Wes really goes in with this one. Yeah, that's I guess that's all I can say about it. You guys should, just take a listen for yourself in regards to just hearing it, because like for real, for me, it's just all about a vibe. Wes is not gonna give you that content that's based in, anything that's substantive, but for the most part, it's good music. And sometimes he goes into his bag where he talks about him being in the feds or him having to deal with certain things in jail. So I guess with that, it's some type of meaningful content, but for the most part, his content is not up to par. I wouldn't necessarily say up to par, because it's all subjective. Like, it's not necessarily up to, you can't necessarily like measure it based off of how good it is as far as the content. It's all based off of like how it's said and how it's delivered to me, as far as like Griselda, because they talk about the same stuff, but they always find different ways to deliver it and execute it in a fashion where it's different from other people who has the same content. So yeah, man, that's Good Night, and that was fire. So the next track, 98 Sabres. 98 Sabres featuring Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, Armani Caesar, the Griselda crew, excluding Bodie for some reason. I guess Bodie didn't get on this track around the time he, before he got signed. But yeah, this is a cool track. It's pretty dope. Benny closes it out. He had a nice little line where he was like, I keep the bands on me like Lance Armstrong. So yeah, man, it's a dope track. As far as the album, I would probably give it I would say an 8 out of 10. Probably like 2 tracks I didn't like, but I would give it like an 8 out of 10. It's a cool album. It's a standout album in regards to West's catalog, but it's not a standout album in regards to this year. I feel like he had 2 other albums that were better. I like Fly God is an Awesome God a little bit better than this one in regards to the part 2. And I also like Pray for Paris. I like that better than this one. But he still has Hitler Wears Hermes coming out. Hitler Wears Hermes 8. A lot of esoteric Luciferian stuff, in regards to Griselda. But like I said, man, it doesn't take away from the content. Also, he has an album with Madlib, I believe, coming in December, because Westside Gunn says that he's going to retire, so he wants to go out 2020 with a bang. So hopefully, he's able to put that together in regards to the Madlib album. And as for me, in regards to other videos that I'm upcoming and that I'm working on, just working patiently and diligently, trying to take my time, because sometimes I feel like I kind of fast pace it in regards to the content, and I just, I got to take my time with some of the stuff that I'm working on in regards to the content. But I have reviews on Tory Lanez album coming up, Logic, and other reviews. So I thank you all for blessing me for your viewership and just continuing to support the channel. So God bless you all and peace.